and that we've been following through all of these different innovations. First of all, we identify key behaviors to incentivize. And then we design innovations to create the most compelling reward to incentivize those behaviors. Once we complete that innovation process, which takes a lot of time and a lot of attention, we then launch those innovations in 1 or 2 markets, and we refine as necessary. And finally, we roll out those innovations across all of our markets over a period of time. Now, we know that every market is in a different place, and therefore every market has different needs as it relates to timing of launch, as it relates to the approach to launch, and maybe even other unique considerations. Now, many of you will recall that this was the approach that we took with the Wealth Maximizer plan in 2008 as well. Remember, we rolled that out market by market over about a 2-year period of time, very carefully. And with each of those market introductions, market management teams worked very closely with leaders locally to set the right time for launch and to consider other types of needs relating to that launch. Now, you might ask, why are we considering innovation for our business model right now? Well, there are really a number of macroeconomic trends that are converging right now that make it a critical time to consider and to really look to the future. Those are, number 1, the rise of a new generation, demographic change. Number 2, the rise and continued growth of the gig economy. And number 3, the exponential growth of social selling. Now, in addition to these macroeconomic trends, obviously there are many other competitive forces at work in the broader marketplace right now. You've seen other companies such as Uber, such as Lyft, such as eBay, such as Airbnb, and others that are making moves in the broader marketplace of business opportunity as well. And so we absolutely must consider all of these factors as we're looking at the future. Now let's talk a little bit about each of these trends more specifically and why they're so critical, but why they also provide us with incredible opportunity going forward. First of all, the rise of a new generation. Within the next 3 years, by 2020, 50% of the workplace will be comprised of millennials. 75% by 2030. Now, this change in the generational makeup of the workplace really is also bringing with it a changing desire for the nature of the work experience itself. And this is largely being driven, number 1, by the rapid expansion of technology, but number 2, by just the lightning speed communication, lightning speed exchange of information. The qualities now that really characterize the workplace are the following. Number 1, flexibility. Flexibility to determine how we work, to determine our own approach to work. Number 2, freedom. Freedom to design our own schedule, to choose when we work. So flexibility, how we work, freedom, when we work. And the third is fulfillment. There's an expectation that there's a work-life balance, that there's a quality of life within the work experience that we're having. In addition, there's also a growing demand that the work we do has a purpose, right? That contributes to our well-being as well. Now, the second key macroeconomic trend is the growth and expansion of the gig economy. We've said this word a lot so far on Nu Skin Live, but what is a gig and what is the gig economy? Well, a gig is simply an independent working relationship. So you can think about consultants, you can think contractors, you can think temporary workers, you can think freelancers. Those are examples of independent working relationships. The key characteristic of the gig economy is flexibility. Again, flexibility in designing how and when we work. Today, as you can see here, about 31% of those in the workplace identify themselves as being part of an independent working relationship, being part of a gig. Now, in one of the most comprehensive studies that was of employees, of top executives, of human resources managers, that's done every 10 years. This was completed 2 years ago in 2015 by Randstad USA, one of the largest human resources staffing and services companies in the US. They interviewed thousands of employees in companies across industries, top-level executives and human resources managers, as I mentioned. Here are the outcomes of that study. Number one, most employees in companies today, as they look to 2025, so they look into the future 10 years, what they see and what they expect is that the majority of the workplace 8 short years from now will be comprised of gigs or independent working relationships. In addition, 40% of employees in companies today are themselves looking to start a gig. This is huge. Think about the implication of that. If 31% already are in a gig, and 40% of those who are working in companies want to start a gig, we're on the verge of a revolution in terms of the workplace in general. And then finally, 75% of CEOs and nearly 70% of human resources managers said they fully expect that the majority of the workplace, greater than 50%, will be in independent working relationships by 2025. Now, why is that important to us? Well, it's important to us because as a result of that, the opportunity to attract a much larger audience who want and who are seeking a business opportunity, an independent business opportunity, has never been greater than it is today. And of course, Nu Skin and our business opportunity is the perfect gig and more. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Okay, we offer the flexibility, the freedom, the fulfillment through an enhanced quality of life, and also the ability to help improve the lives of others around us. Now, the third macroeconomic trend is social selling. Let me take you, Ryan took you on a bit of a time warp yesterday. Let me take you on the same one. So if we took a time warp back 15 years to before social selling was, or social media itself was really a thing, and if I handed you a piece of paper, and asked you to write down as many friends and family members and acquaintances as you could think of right off the top of your head, how many do you think you could have written down? Well, as Ryan mentioned yesterday, on average about 56. So maybe you could think of 30, 40, maybe you could think of 56. Fast forward to today. A recent study on Facebook showed that the typical Facebook user has 338 friends. Nearly 10 times the number of people that we could have written down on a piece of paper 10 years ago. So social selling provides instant access to your warm market. Social selling is not a different business model, but instead it's an accelerator to being able to find new customers and potential business builders. Why? Because again, it enables that instant, incredible reach. And that's just one. That example was just one social media platform, just Facebook. And there are obviously many, many others. So at the end of the day, social selling is really the perfect platform to enable the gig economy that we just talked about. So as we review then the outcomes of this research on macroeconomic trends, on our competitive landscape, what we find from this analysis is really 3 key differentiators that will allow us to remain on the leading edge of the gig economy. Number 1, flexibility. When we talk about flexibility, we're talking about being able to provide a flexible appeal and reward. Being able to meet people where they are at. For instance, we offer a flexible opportunity for those who want just a little extra income. Somebody who wants to send a child to dance lessons or to sports activities. Someone who wants to take a significant other on a date. Someone who wants to help make a car payment or help buy that new refrigerator. We have a home for them. Now, for those who want more, for those who want a part-time to a full-time opportunity, we also have a home for them. Now, in addition, flexibility also means we have enhanced reward for attracting and retaining customers. The second key differentiator is fast. Yesterday you heard Rich talk a lot about fast speed. What do we mean by fast when it comes to our business model? Number 1, we mean offering an increased reward for early, more frequent, more consistent sales performance. And secondly, we also are talking about velocity, providing daily, weekly, and monthly rewards and payments as well. And then the third key differentiator is future looking, continuing to build on the strength of our leadership advantage. Again, we are a leadership company. And in addition to that, continuing to innovate in all areas, including our business model. So we've always been leadership driven, and we always will be. We understand that leadership is our competitive advantage. You are the competitive advantage of Nu Skin. In addition, and while building on this leadership advantage, we also need to continue to strengthen rewards for new and early business builders, for those who want discretionary or flexible part-time income as part of the gig economy as they share the products and acquire customers. As you saw yesterday in the vision session, in those success stories that were presented, to be competitive in the gig economy, really we must enhance and we must have enhanced rewards for those who want discretionary and flexible part-time income. That is how we stay on the leading edge of the gig economy. So imagine for a moment that in addition to being the world's leader in rewarding for leadership development, that we are also best in class at providing the right rewards, enhanced rewards for new and early business builders as well. How would this entirely change the dynamics of your teams? At the end of the day, wouldn't we all agree that we want to be the world's leading business opportunity platform? So that when someone is seeking opportunity, they think of Nu Skin first. Not Uber, not eBay or Airbnb, but Nu Skin. Don't you agree?
Yes.
All right. So one key to making this happen is velocity. Increasing the velocity of the business model will allow us to break through barriers that could otherwise slow us down. So when we talk about velocity, what we mean is the flexibility, the fast, and the future-looking aspects that we've talked about. Imagine for just a minute that we could increase the pace of business from 12 business cycles per year to 52, to perhaps 365 business cycles per year. Velocity is all about offering the right reward at the right time for the right behavior in order to make that happen. And what velocity does is add another growth lever. Yes, we can grow by increasing the number of customers and distributors on our teams. Yes, we can increase the productivity of each of those customers and distributors on our teams. But what velocity also adds is speeding up the entire business model as a whole. And so velocity is not just about speed. Let me take you back. Some of you may not want to remember this, but do you all remember in high school or in college when you took that physics class? Did you like that physics class? Did you enjoy that? Well, velocity, remember, is definitely about covering a certain amount of distance in a certain amount of time. But the one thing we often forget is that velocity is also about direction. So it's about speed in a direction. Now, staying on the leading edge of the gig economy has everything to do with speed in the right direction. And this direction is really comprised of two different programs. The first is a program for customers, and this customer program is focused all around enjoying the products, loving the products, becoming a loyal consumer of the products. We know how hard each of you works to find customers, and we want to enable you to attract and retain those customers in a way that maximizes loyal purchasing. The second business program is the Velocity business model, which offers the right rewards at the right time for those who want to build a Nu Skin business. Now, the right speed of reward coupled with the direction of share, build, and lead, which you'll hear more about in just a minute, will allow you to accelerate the pace of your business. When we talk about sharing, we're talking about retailing products as well as acquiring customers. Build is all about maximizing each week of performance. And lead is about helping others to become strong, successful leaders. Now, Velocity by Nu Skin has been a 24-month project. And we've had more than 40 people from our global management teams or regional management teams and from other project teams participating from around the world in the design of the concepts relating to velocity. In addition, we've held more than 20 focus groups with leaders around the world from many of our markets around the world to make sure that we're receiving and hearing feedback as well. Now, each of the individuals that you see here has been involved in this business model innovation process. Now, let me tell you a little bit about them and introduce them to you. So Mike Keller, he's currently our president of Nu Skin Korea, as well as our vice president of customer experience and loyalty. And Mike will be talking to us about the first program relating to Enjoy. Now, in addition to his current roles, and you know he's been the president of Nu Skin Korea now for several years, he has also been the head of our Pacific markets, as well as being involved in many global business development initiatives. Now, our second business program is Velocity. And so, Danny Luke, our head of Global Business Model Innovation, will be speaking to us about Share. He comes with tremendous experience from our Hong Kong market, and more recently, several years in our mainland China market and Greater China as a whole. Matt Hall, our manager of the Nu Skin United States market, has also had experience as the head of our Pacific market as well. He'll be talking to us about Build. And finally, Avita Singh Sun, our vice president of global sales channel development, has also had tremendous experience as the regional vice president of sales for both our Southeast Asia and our Asia Pacific markets. So as you can see, these individuals are highly experienced and bring a tremendous amount of experience as it relates to our business model. So I hope that you feel the same as I do. Nu Skin's future is tremendously bright, particularly as we continue to innovate in all areas as well as in the area of business model. Thank you very much.
私の一番ニュースキン好きな商品なんですけれども、まずガルバニックスパー、もうあれはもうものすごく僕のが大好きな商品の一つなんですけれども、もちろん自分がこう使うことによって綺麗になるのはもちろんなんですけど、やはり僕の妻である方にもですね、一緒にこう使うことによって、コミュニケーションもありますし、綺麗になるし、コミュニケーションにもなりますし、あの製品は本当に、僕の中で一番こう愛している製品なんですけれども。
I think Nu Skin product is really awesome. For myself, I started off with the weight loss program. I'm actually a mother of two. So because of the program, I lost about 4 kg, and the amazing thing is my waistline dropped about 9 centimeters after 3 months.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome President of Nu Skin Korea and Vice President of Global Customer Experience and Loyalty, Mike Keller.
Good morning. It's great to be here with you today. 우리 사랑하는 Nu Skin 가족 여러분, 감사합니다. 반갑습니다. 안녕하십니까? Okay, so I just got a few minutes today. 감사합니다. Got a few minutes today to talk about Enjoy. As Chris mentioned a moment ago, this is a piece we're paying a lot of attention to right now. The idea behind Enjoy is that your customers and you, as business leaders, enjoy your experience and your interaction with the company. You enjoy the tremendous benefits that the Nu Skin products offer, and you enjoy building your businesses. A big part of this is the customer experience that we, on the corporate side and in each of our markets, build and create to ensure that at every touch point, your customers walk away with a feeling that they've connected with the right company, they've connected with the right products, and that we're going to keep them and retain them longer over a period of time. Now, customer experience, it's not a buzzword. It's something that's happening right now. It's a movement amongst industries. Many companies out there and many industries are paying a lot more attention to the customer experience that they're creating and executing with their customers. And the reason behind that is really because of all of us. As consumers, we've become much more refined in the way that we consume, the way that we make decisions to purchase products and services, the way that we research it online. We are more knowledgeable, more informed than we've ever been, and we can also access independent reviews left by other consumers like us that talk about their experiences with the products and services that any company offers. So this is now a huge thing that's going on out there, and we realize that you go through a tremendous amount of work to find new customers and bring them into your organizations. From the moment that you find them, recruit, you train and educate them on the products, you close that first sale, you follow up on that sale, and then you move forward to hopefully getting a repeat purchase out of them and establishing them as long-term customers of the Nu Skin products. We know that requires a tremendous amount of work. So from a customer experience perspective, we want to partner with you in creating the type of experience that will keep them coming back time and time again, that will help them feel that we have created a connection with them. We share meaningful communications with them. They love the products, they love the experience at every touch point. So it's important to us. And we're going to be developing this over the coming months and years, continuing to refine it to create a world-class customer experience for your customers, as well as for you and your business builders. Is that something we can get excited about? Yes. Okay, good. So, as a part of customer experience, we're looking at loyalty programs. Like all of you, I traveled to be here live today, this week. And I took advantage of loyalty programs that I'm a member of, mainly in the travel industry, with my airline, with my hotel. Some of you also maybe airline, hotel, rental cars, credit cards, they're ubiquitous. Loyalty programs are everywhere. So we spent the last several months actually studying the best of class in terms of loyalty programs across industries. So we looked at the credit card industry, the travel industry, the beauty industry, many industries. We've tried to identify the best practices that loyalty programs offer. So as you think about the loyalty programs that you're currently a member of, what do you like most about them? I would guess that some of those components would include miles or points. Others could be special promotions as a loyal customer. Others could be just a simple recognition from that company that you are a loyal customer and they treat you differently. They've established a connection with you. They communicate with you differently. And so as we've looked at all of these programs across industries, we've realized there are some common factors that the most successful companies have. They're able to somehow connect all of these elements into a loyalty program that leaves the customer feeling connected and excited about their interaction with that company and with that brand. That's our goal in Nu Skin as well. Specifically, we want to create a world-class loyalty rewards program. So, in doing this, we've done our external research. We also now conducted some internal research. We did a global survey earlier this year, late last year, where we asked you, and we asked your customers, what elements of loyalty are most important to you? The feedback was not surprising. In fact, it was really a lot in line with what we found with our cross-industry research, and that was, first of all, recognition. Recognize that we're a loyal customer. Also, communicate with us, build relationships with us, enhance that customer experience because we're loyal. Secondly, give us access to additional information, additional offers, seasonal promotions. Treat us differently because we are loyal. Next is also rewards. Give us some rewards for our continued loyalty. And then lastly, give us access to product samples. Give us things that will help us understand more about what you have to offer as a company. Expose us to different products. And so as we've looked at that, we've taken the internal research and combined it with our external research, and we are starting to prepare Blue Rewards by Nu Skin. Okay? This will be a new reward program that once you register and enroll in this program, there'll be some benefits that you can experience as a customer, as a loyal customer of Nu Skin products. Some of the main things I'm going to talk about here, these are very high level. As we continue to develop and refine this program, just know that it will be coming in the future. As Chris mentioned with Velocity, we're never going to surprise you with just one program that we throw out one week. This will be a deliberate process that we go through as we work with the markets and as the markets work with the leaders to help you understand what's happening as we roll this out. But a big part of this program will be Blue Points. With every purchase you make, you'll be able to generate points. In terms of redemption options,